Which begs the question, will there be more?
I think we're live.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay.
Hi, welcome to Game On. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Ray.
We're
Welcome to the Indie Corner. Today we're going to talk about roguelikes.
Specifically Pixel Piracy, though,
Pixel
because
Piracy.
we did a review on it.
Yeah, I've been logging quite a few hours in Pixel Piracy recently.
So what is it? Because I haven't played it. I've seen it on Steam. But...
It is a 2D, 8-bit, side-scrolling pirate simulator.
Okay.
Wow.
And basically, you start off with just some wood blocks for a ship, and then over time, you sort of explore the ocean around you, and there are islands which can be inhabited with other pirates or strange, like, voodoo people.
Is it like
animals.
Is it player versus player, or is it?
It is not player versus
Okay.
player, but it sounds like they're planning on eventually integrating some player versus player endgame material.
Yeah.
So like if we wanted to play Pixel Piracy, can we like join together and make like our own pirate, like be a pirate ship and go? Oh.
Possibly. They're not really clear about their end game goals at this point.
Was this a full release or early access?
This has been in early access
Okay.
since the fall, actually.
Oh, wow.
It first got on Steam early access in the fall, and actually since they've partnered up with Relogic, the creators of Terraria.
Yeah.
So actually,
those assets are going to be that expertise, because Terraria is like the 8-bit Minecraft roguelike of like Terraria. It's deep. It's got a lot of
there's a lot to it. There's already a ton to Pixel Piracy. Like I'm not very good at video games. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm not very good at video games. So I don't get very far in Pixel Piracy, but it's like a very, very challenging game.
Okay.
To get to that point on the screen there, like a big, nice ship like that, you'd have to be playing for kind of a while. And right now, it's just very inherently difficult to get to like any sort of end game or really very far at all, because there are bosses, but you have to grind a lot to be like even good enough at all for the bosses. And right now there are some inherent problems actually with the system, mainly for RNG, random number generator.
Yeah.
That's a big point of roguelikes. They're like not wholly decided by RNG, but it's a factor.
Is Terraria really a roguelike?
Yeah.
I feel like it.
Every world.
It is procedurally generated.
Every world is uniquely generated. It's just got the same kind of general rules, and there are bosses that have variants.
But isn't a roguelike like you start off and it's very random, and then it's very difficult and you die? Like if you die, like that's it, you start over. Like sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you get bad stuff. Like I feel like Terraria is more like a Minecraft, just like kind of it's really irrelevant to the topic.
It's still a roguelike in this. Like it's not like Rogue. It's not exactly a copy of it.
It's
not a copy of the formula.
like.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in the same kind of general like randomly generated maps and areas in that sense.
The two main
like elements.
The two main like staying points of a roguelike is that it is A, procedurally generated, so it's not totally random. It's like you don't basically get
there are certain rules to the way the worlds are set up.
Yeah. And also that it has permadeath. So the Pixel Piracy,
permadeath?
It's basically like optional permadeath is how I look at it, because once you die, it just brings you back to the main menu, but you can reload like the last game you played if you choose.
All right.
So it is permadeath if you want it. And honestly, at this point in the game, if you die, then you are probably in a position in the game where you are going to die anyway. Most of the time, I die either to... There are two things that I usually end up losing to in the game, which can very easily be worked out, I think. And one is just not finding food anywhere at all.
Right.
Because there is a hunger system and a morale system. Morale is really easy to replenish, but food is actually really hard to get because...
Can you not fish?
You can fish, but you have to invest skill points and money into
Right.
learning, and then you need to find a fishing rod, which are like hard to come by.
Okay.
And then you would also need to learn how to cook in order to be able to eat the fish. So there is, like, if you can make it to the mid-end game, then there actually is a lot more stuff you can do. But in the early game, it's kind of just grinding and making sure you can survive.
How long does it take to get to like end game stuff? Because you said it's like kind of optional permadeath. Like, does it take like hours?
I've
to
had,
get there?
like, the farthest I've survived is like about 20-something minutes, like the low 20-minute
okay.
mark. But you could end up investing like hours and having like an actually sustainable run, kind of, because there is clearly no end in sight. Like, I've gotten in like 20 minutes into a game and I haven't even scratched the surface.
So like, how long would it take to get this? Where this is what I want. I want to be a pirate. I want to be out on the ocean
And a decently sized ship.
Yeah. At the 20-minute mark, you can easily have like a two-layered, because at first you start off with basically like this, just like a few wood blocks for
Just like a rowboat.
yeah,
sort of thing.
pretty much a rowboat. But then I've gotten to points where I have like a 2-level ship. That's probably about a half hour in, because some of the things that they have, like especially a sail, is like pretty expensive. So you could get into that in like about a half hour, 40 minutes worth of play. And it is something you can put down and then pick back up.
What's the gameplay like, though?
The gameplay is really good. My only gripe about the controls is that it's very mouse-centric. I would like a few more keyboard shortcuts, because...
Do you think they'll like bring that into later? Because it is early access.
I'm sure they will. They're like almost every week they're rolling out new updates, and it's constantly being improved.
So would you say that this game is early access done right?
It is early access done right, because you get... I have been naming a few problems, but those are really the only problems I've had. So assuming that they can clear up those problems, which are actually really easy fixes for them, like, as is, I would give the game 3.5 Pixel Pirates out of 5.
Okay.
Or
7 out of 10.
Yeah, 7
quick.
Pixel Pirates out of 10.
We're out of time. I just have a quick question. How much booty is in this game?
Oh,
Just
so much
mountains
booty.
of just booty.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you
booty
for
fest.
tuning in. We're out of time. I'm Nick Lehman.
I'm John Messa.
And I'm Ray.
Thank you for watching. And remember, game on.
Coming for that booty.
Reveal the pirate's booty inside.
There's so much booty in here.